Pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone, for attending this session. And thank you, OurCrowd, for hosting this very important gathering on the implications of COVID-19 and the day after on cybersecurity. My name is Omer Karmi. I'm the VP of Intelligence for Sixgill. And our mission in life is simple and complex in the same time. We are trying to do an evolution, perhaps even a revolution in the field of cybersecurity. We believe that with the huge amounts of data today, and they are quite huge and they would be exponentially increasing in the next years, the only way to really cope with those huge amounts of data is by embracing full automation, enriching your data and your security operations with a lot of context and providing actionability to everything. And when we are looking on our customers, their organizations, I think that the definition for a customer organization, definition for our organization has changed dramatically over the last few months. Everyone is working from home. Most of the country is still working from home. Everyone is using some kind of video conference tool to communicate remotely. And I think that the threat landscape, or as we call it, the threatscape, has really changed. I would say that in a very disturbing way that really challenges everyone around the table of cybersecurity. So first, the attack surface has dramatically increased. If you think, and I think that some of my colleagues also referenced to it, think of the number and diversity of endpoints that are being used by an organization today. Think of the assets that an organization holds. Everyone is having their home PC suddenly involved with their corporate network, new IPs, new domains, and threat actors are understanding it. They excel in using our fear, our uncertainty, our despair, our need for information in order to monetize it. So they are thinking of new TTPs, techniques, tactics, procedures to exploit. And lastly, but not least, I think that if you'll ask most of the CISOs and the CIOs, most of them will tell you that the current situation is limiting their control over their central corporate environment and the enforcement of their employees. Just to give you a few examples of things that Sixgill have detected over the last few months with this new threatscape. I'm sure most of you have been tracking this dashboard somewhere in time over the last 2 months. It's the dashboard of Johns Hopkins University of Medicine for Corona situation. And it got a lot of traffic, unsurprisingly. Unsurprisingly as well, most of the threat actors have been trying to use it for some extent for their malicious activities. One of those, or actually one threat group that decided to take this dashboard, duplicate it, and creating a phishing page, which was used on several incidents that we have seen on the wild and on the underground for loading malware. This phishing page was sold for only $700 in a number of Russian-speaking websites on the dark web, forums and markets. I would say that you don't even need to go as far as something complicated, such as a phishing attack vector or a malware. You could even focus on video conferencing on Zoom, for example. So one of the things that we have seen is the evolution of how threat actors and cyber criminals are trying to exploit Zoom. In the beginning, we have seen a lot of, as it was referred on the cyber underground, Zoom raidings. On the beginning, it was very innocent to say it like this. Students were trying to raid their teachers' Zoom lessons. But as things moved forward and as the discussions became more complex and more intense. We have seen gatherings of cyber criminals. We have seen coordination in dedicated groups, in instant messaging apps, in forums, in Twitter, in Telegram, in Discord, in QQ, to actually do coordinated attacks on specific Zoom accounts. And lastly, which is usually the case with most of those evolutions in TTPs, we have seen dedicated tools which are meant to exploit and hack Zoom and other video conference tools. We have actually even seen the beginning of thinking of how to use those in order to load malware into the user's endpoints. And as you can see, it meets everyone in every region, in every place, whether it is North America, LATAM, APAC, or EMEA. And how can we tackle it, or how can we mitigate it? So I think it goes back to automation. The data is out there. The data is in enormous bulks of information which a human being can't cope with. We believe that by taking a very strong analytics and take it and implement it on real-time basis on huge chunks of information with a lot of context, we are able to detect, to analyze, and to provide to our customers with the concrete alerts. And not only to do this, but also to push them and communicate them via the security platform of choice of our customers and our prospects. We believe that that's the main way for a cybersecurity work to push forward and to enrich every single one of the security operations that are inside our corporates. Thank you very much for joining us today, and feel free to reach out either in the Q&A or separately later. Thank you.